Hey guys, it's TMF Style. I'm Jose Zuniga, and for this week's video, we're going to be covering the double-breasted jacket. With the upsurge of menswear and men actually taking care of their appearance, a lot of classic garments are coming back into play, and specifically the double-breasted jacket, which we're going to be speaking about today. You've seen me wear this jacket, which is part of our Estaniga collection, quite often in my videos, and today what I'm going to cover is basically what makes a double-breasted jacket different from a single-breasted jacket, what benefits it provides the wearer, and a little bit about the history of how this piece came to be. Now, the double-breasted jacket is very closely related to English tailoring, and you'll see why when I get into my history segment about this jacket. But first, to start with the differences. Obviously, the most obvious difference you can see is that you have two pieces of fabric that cover your chest and stomach area, or basically overlap. What this does is that the lapels give an elegant overlap and something that doesn't come with a single-breasted jacket, which is why a double-breasted jacket tends to be a little bit more dressier. Another thing that you will always notice with double-breasted jacket is that they will 99.999% of the time come with peak lapels. I have seen notch lapel jackets, but they're not that flattering. And also paired with that is probably like 70% of the time, there'll be wide peak lapels. This is something more of a 70s resurgence that is happening and a style that was popular in the 70s. So what this basically does for the wearer, when you pair wide peak lapels like this, a lapel overlap like I was speaking about, and ultimately, since it overlaps, it hugs your waist a little bit tighter and more snug. What this does for the wearer is that it broadens your shoulders and it cinches your waistline. It does a lot better job than, as you can see me wearing, with a single-breasted piece. This piece kind of hugs the wearer a little bit more. On top of that, it's functional. It provides heat. So this jacket cloth is cut in a wool that's a little bit lighter and more of an all-season type of fabric. But if this jacket were cut in a heavier, probably 300 gram fabric or above, that's some sort of tweed or heavy wool, this jacket will provide ultimate protection during the winter. Finally, the last difference that again is obvious is the buttoning. You can find on double-breasted jackets, believe it or not, anywhere from 2 to 8 buttons. Optimally, you want 6, and that is what's worn most often and what you'll see off the rack or any other clothing maker. And what the 6 button is, it's also called the 6x3 configuration, and what that means is that there's 6 buttons on the outside, 3 of them can be fastened. That's what you want to look for. The last key part that makes a double-breasted different from a single-breasted is something called an anchor button. An anchor button is something that's hidden inside the left flap of the suit jacket, and it does exactly what it says it does. It helps anchor the left flap of the suit jacket to the left. That way, the double-breasted piece stays proportionate and remains with its original silhouette. Now, you will see a lot of gentlemen that follow the train of thought of Sprezzatura, or Italian gentlemen that decide to not button this as a form of rebellion, if I might say, to classic menswear. And that's fine with them, but that's something that I personally would not recommend, and I always think it's proper etiquette to fasten that anchor button. Now finally, just a little bit of history of how it came to be so you can understand the functionality of menswear. Like I've mentioned before in a lot of my articles, the beauty about menswear as opposed to women's wear is that a lot of what has been created for men is actually meant to be functional and not fashion. And aesthetics and the good looks that it provides a man is basically just an added bonus. And the same can be said with the double-breasted jacket. The double-breasted jacket apparently can be traced all the way back until imperialist Britain and the age of exploration. What basically happened is that you had sailors at sea almost all year exploring in very harsh conditions. So what tailors at that time did is created something called the Reefer Jacket. And what the Reefer Jacket was essentially what you see today. Well, today's a modernized version of it, but it was a coat that lapped twice on top of the wearer. It was a very thick one. And since it had double buttons, it helped with the really harsh conditions, and again, helped protect the men with proper tailoring. And if you think about it, this double-breasted piece does the exact same job today. Obviously a little bit more refined, but when you get this in a heavier tweed or heavy wool, like I mentioned in the beginning, it'll protect you on very cold winters. So that's basically it for this week's video, guys. If you guys liked this video and found it informative, remember to share this video so we can reach and teach more men. Also remember to like this video. See you guys next week.